You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. You can join the conversation right now on X using the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. Remember to tag at TVC News On. We'll begin with the latest appointments in the health and social welfare sector. A State House press release named new board chairmen and CEOs across NAFDAC, the Medical and Dental Council, and other agencies under the sector. The objective, we understand, is for the changes. The objective for the changes is to bring world-class standards to public health administration and the desire to deliver affordable but quality healthcare to all Nigerians. And this is based on regulatory frameworks commensurate with international best practice. A new CEO has also been appointed for the Center for Disease Control, is Dr. Olajide Idris, and his appointment is effective on the 19th of February this year. While it seems Nigerians may soon heave a sigh of relief as President Bola Tinubu meets with state governors over rising cost of food and inflation. And top on the agenda at that meeting, which held at the council chambers of the presidential villa in Abuja earlier today, is the current food crisis and how government will partner with subnationals to improve the cost of living. After extensive deliberations, the president and governors agreed to work together to solve the problems as well as tackle the economic pressure being faced by citizens. Now let's take a look at the key takeaways from what the president actually told the governors today. One is addressing security affecting farming and food production by recruiting more police personnel to strengthen the force, and also by putting in place mechanisms that will engender state police instead of the vigilantes that are currently being used in some states. So state police is back on the agenda, and it's Mr. President himself saying that. He also charged the governors to strengthen their forest rangers and arm them to keep all the forest safe for criminals. And two on that list is an increased collaboration between the state and federal government to improve local food production, with the president advising against the idea of food importation and price control. He's also directed the Inspector General of Police, the National Security Advisor, and the DSS to monitor warehouses hoarding food items across the country. And President Tinubu also charged the governors to pay attention to livestock development. He pleaded with the governors to also ensure they pay salary arrears and gratuities to workers and pensioners as a way to put money into the hands of the people, since states are now getting more monthly revenue allocation. He asked the governors, he was actually quoted to have said, spend the money, don't spend the people. And he's also urged the governors to create more economic opportunities for young people to keep them productively engaged.
The National Security Advisor, the Director General of the State Services, the Inspector General of Police have been directed to coordinate with the state governors to look at the issue of those hoarding commodities. The nation requires food to be brought out to the people so that we can control prices and put food on the table of most Nigerians. Other commodity traders are busy hoarding these commodities so that Nigerians will suffer or they will make more money as a result. Mr. President and the state governors have also discussed the possibility of improving the numeric strength of forest rangers, to train them so that they can keep our forest. Both the federal government and the state governments are agreeing to the necessity of having state police.
Let's talk more about government intervention as Nigerians battle soaring prices of food commodity and also the challenge of inflation. Special advisor, new media to the Minister of Agriculture, Woye Adeyemi, joins me live from our studio in Abuja. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
All right, let's begin with the commodity board proposed by the federal government to regulate the high cost of food. The mandate, we are told, is to assess and regulate food prices. But we heard the president today at his meeting with the governors reportedly advising against price control. Are you privy to how this board is to work and precisely what government's policy is in this regard?
Okay, thank you. If you recall that in those days, in 60s, 70s, and 80s, we have a community board. And in 1986, the government of General Babangida dissolved the community board. You know, you remember that IMF in those days, under SAP, mandated us to reduce government enterprises, and there was corruption at that time. Now, the new community board that we put in place now is going to intervene in terms of food prices. It's going to also have a very strategic reserve for food, and then at the same time, we are going to have a sort of relationship between the farmers and the board, such that the farmers can actually have value for their products. So the difference between 86 and 2024 are very significant in terms of the management of these commodity boards. So I believe that government is in a good position to advance this particular issue, and then Nigerians should be assured that the community board of this present government will work. The community board of this government will not condone corruption. The community board that we're expecting from this government is going to strengthen and make farmers to be happy, to be happy, to be able to have something to do with their lives and their income. So I think it's a good thing.
The way you have put it, but I'm sure you are aware that there are also concerns about how foreigners, for instance, access the farm gate and buy directly from local farmers, and how that, significantly seem to impact on the food that is available. The logic is that the country ought to first achieve self-sufficiency in food production before exporting to other countries. What role do you think this has played in the price hike we are currently dealing with?
You see, we have food. We have food. And we have the land to cultivate food. And I think like what happened in Kano, or what happened in so many places like Yobe, like Nigeria State, where people were hoarding items to make money. But the thing is that we need to produce more. We need to plant more. And then if you plant more, all these issues will be a thing of the past. Now, you see, agriculture is a business. It's not a charity organization. So, in the course of, if you look at Wakot, for example, now, they have farmers like AdGrower system, like more than 5,000 farmers are there. And then if government can decide to encourage so many of these, like Wakots, so many of them, in so many places, like in Jigawa State, like in Kebbi State, and then we can be able to stabilize the food prices. So we need to expand our production. We need a synergy between Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and Water Resources, such that we're able to tackle low production. And also, the ministry is also working towards training more extension workers. Because if you look at it critically, if we don't train people, if we don't help farmers, we won't be able to get expected yield. So it's a minor issue that we are on top of it, and then we will tackle it frontally. And then I think between the next 2 months, people should see results of a lower reduction in food inflation percentage.
The Minister of Agriculture was quoted to have said that what we're currently faced with is not an issue of food availability, but an issue of affordability. What's the logic here? Isn't the inflation a function of demand overweighing or outweighing supply? How do we wish away the challenge of availability in this situation?
No, I think what the minister is trying to say is that, look, there are other factors affecting farming, like transportation, like security. Now, I'm aware that the present government is embarking on CNG buses, and that NMPCL is installing points for CNG gases. So I think I will look at it from this angle, that if you are building a house, you can't be buying ice cream and pizza every day for your children. You must try to save money and then get the house completed. So Nigerians should be patient to allow the CNG buses. These are the factors affecting farming. Key issue is transportation. 2, insecurity. 3, we have to improve our irrigation services, irrigation system, such that we can be able to farm all year round. So if, when the subsidy was removed, you should expect a higher cost of transportation. And then we still also need to, Federal Ministry of Works and the State Ministry of Works be able to fix rural roads, such that from the farm to the market, the roads are okay, the roads are motorable, and that the farmers can be able to move their items from point A to point B. So it's not just to farm, but how do you move your farm goods from your farm in the remotest area to another place, which is a commercial place in town? So I think there are other factors that the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security cannot control. Cannot control. So we are looking at production such that we cannot ask Federal Ministry of Transportation, Federal Ministry of okay.
Yeah. Let me just jump in quickly because I guess a line of thought, but I want us to capture as much as we can, within the short period of time that we have. We've seen the president in his attempt to crash the prices of food items, directed the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security to release about 42,000 metric tons of maize, millet, and other commodities in what they call the strategic reserve, so they can address the issue of rising cost of food. Talk to us about the update with this directive and how it's expected to actually work.
Okay, we have actually 52,000 or 53,000 thereabouts. We are releasing 42,000 metric tons for now. And then the Rice Farmer Association also, they are bringing 60,000 metric tons. Now, we are using NEMA. If you look at NEMA, most governments, local governments, they're always sending NEMA things to intervene for them. So NEMA has a very comprehensive outreach in Nigeria. So, and then we're also asking DSS to work with NEMA such that when eventually it is released, it will be distributed to the people that actually need this thing. And then also, we're not charging for it. It's free. It's free. So Nigerians should be rest assured that this time around, it will reach these people. It will be like COVID-19 palliative. I can assure you that.
Mr. Wade,
yes.
COVID-19 is even far away. Under this administration, we've had issues with the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. We have a rich history of failure as a country when it comes to sharing palliatives. Thanks to the fact that we don't have a robust and efficient data system. So you understand why many Nigerians take initiatives of this kind with a pinch of salt. What really are the hopes that we'll probably get it right this time and that this food will get to not just Nigerians, but those who really need them?
You will recall that Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, they did an updated database. And that was used in Kogi. That was used in so many places. So, I mean, the database we have right now is genuine, and the governors at a point complained against the database, and it has been updated, and ghosts or whatever names have been removed. So let's rest that aspect. We have a database that is working. Now, the NEMA, we're going to use NEMA database. You know, NEMA has updated their own database. So Nigerians should be assured again that these grains will reach the person who actually needed it most. I can assure you that one. And I want you to take my word for it.
Is there a designated time as to when this distribution will start?
I think maybe next 1 or 2 weeks, I think we should be able to start distributing those items. It's just what is happening is just paperwork, and then logistic issues to be addressed. And then, you know, those the grains are not in Abuja alone. There are in so many places within the country, you know, and I cannot tell you where a day because of security issues. But the most important thing is that the job, as approved by the President, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, under the leadership of Honorable Minister, Senator Abubakar, he will deliver the job, and then Nigerians will, I mean, we want NGOs, we want CSOs to also monitor these things and see that the thing will not be diverted. Because we have the responsibility as all Nigerians to monitor. Because the people that are going to benefit are not going to be in Abuja, they're going to be in rural areas. So you as a journalist should also monitor it, follow them, like they say, follow the money. Monitor it and see that the thing is not diverted. But I can assure you, the system in place right now, there will not be any single diversion. That I can assure you.
Let us discuss some more sustainable, approach to solving this problem. Because at best, distributing food for free is palliative. There's the issue of how double taxation applied to food crops in transit has significantly contributed to the current increase in food prices. How concerned is the minister about double taxation on food transportation across the country and, the many reports of tout harassment on the road?
Let me give you an example. The minister was informed about a situation in Kebbi State where they're charging like 600,000 naira or so, or let me call it extortion or so. And he quickly called the governor of Kebbi State, Comrade Dr. Idris, and that he should intervene. Double taxation is a state and local government issues. Federal government, we can only appeal to the governors to be able to do something about it. But I think with the commitment of governors now in terms of advancing agricultural products in their states, they will actually talk to the local government to reduce, and then plus all security men, the IG of police, the service chiefs, they need to talk to, and custom, they need to talk to their men and officers so that they can allow free movement of goods and services within the country.
Earlier on, you talked about the needed collaboration between the Ministry of Agriculture and Water Resources for, efficient farmland irrigation and, the need for Nigeria to have year-round food production. The weather is something else now. Talk to us about what's happening with dry season farming and whether the ministry has, a clear-cut plan and what's on ground as we speak.
Okay, last year, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture flagged off dry season farming or planting in Jigawa State. And about 15 states were involved in the exercise. And I can assure you that the dry season, we've scored something close to 80%, even though we have some challenges in some areas. But I think we've learned a lesson from it. We are going to start dry and wet season planting in the next few days, not even weeks now, and that will cover the whole of the Federation plus FCT. So one of the challenges, we had a stakeholder meeting this week where the minister brought all the stakeholders, including the fertilizer people, the agro dealer, agrochemical service providers, the IT people together. We all agreed that even the organic fertilizer people, they were there. They all agreed that this particular coming dry and wet season, we are relying on state governments to give us the database. And then the farmers are at liberty now to choose their agro dealer, such that we can be able to produce. Then at the same time, one of the key issues that we learned as a lesson from the last dry season is like, okay, you are asking the farmers to pay 180,000 naira, I mean a rural person, so, and it's a bit high for a farmer to be able to produce that 180,000 naira. So some state governments like Katsina, like Kebbi states, like Jigawa states, they've subsidized their farmers. So because the government, federal government is subsidizing 50%. So some state governments are paying that 50%. So the farmers are getting their input free of charge. You will believe that in Kebbi State, the governor procured 6,000 water solar panel, because in Kebbi State they have issues of rainfall, and then for them to have before Kebbi States don't have all year round farming, but now they'll be able to have all year round farming. So that particular water pump, and so many governors, look at the governor of Niger State too, he has intervened. It was part of the pilot state, and then the governor produced around 500,000 hectares of land for rice cultivation and wheat. So
okay.
The process is going on well. I can assure Nigerians that this coming dry and wet season, the challenges they faced in the other dry season would not reoccur in the particular coming program. That's an assurance I can give you.
We have to go now. We just have about 2 more minutes, but some states have already stopped food transportation from one town to the other to ensure self-sufficiency. It sounds like each state now has to fend for itself. But in 1 minute, if you can, do you see this affect the farmers' profit in any way?
No. You see, it will not affect farmers' profits anyhow. Because, you see, I think the challenge is an interim measure. It's not a permanent measure. It's just for us to stabilize this crisis, that everybody can be able to buy food at an affordable prices. So I want to assure Nigerians that this present government is not sleeping as per resolving this crisis, and that give us 1 or 2 months, Nigerians will be able to say, yes, this government has done well.
Absolutely. We're counting on that. Food security was one of the 8 areas of priority declared by President Bola Tinubu as part of this renewed hope agenda. And we're counting on that. We're looking forward to how he intends to navigate this trying time. Woye Adeyemi is SSA on new media to the Minister of Agriculture. We hope that you can facilitate the Honorable Minister himself joining us in the coming days. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Very sure. Thank you.
And that's our program today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.